Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm all right, Piotr. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It's a great honor and pleasure to have you on my podcast. I wonder what was the biggest turning point that really kind of changed and pivot your career and your business?
What was the biggest changing point?
Yes.
I think the biggest changing point for Reebok was when we actually launched in America. When we really got into America, that was the big one. And of course, we were in there for 2 years when we fell into aerobics. We found aerobics. That was a good white space, and that took us from 9 million to 900 million in 4 years. So that was it.
Wow.
We actually pivoted from being a running company, a small running company, into a fitness company, a women's fitness company, and we pivoted, and that was the big one.
Wow. If you put Reebok shoes or Adidas shoes or Nike shoes on a foot of a blind person, that person probably won't tell you the difference. And however, some brands are more successful than others. And I wonder, what is it? And why did Reebok become number one, become a hit?
Well, I mean, what the difference is influences. What
Mhm.
influences you to buy a particular brand? I think all the brands have to be comfortable. I think they have to be very strong, wearable, and that you feel good with the product on. So the difference in the brands, I guess the difference would be whether the influencers, which one of the influencers you prefer, uh, and and I think what sort of image the brand has. Like Nike has a very strong performance image, and I think Adidas also come through with a performance image, whereas Reebok come through with a more of a lifestyle image. Although its performance is there, the influences that we have for Reebok. I mean, okay, we did have performance images, but I think we were quite strong in having performance images from entertainment, from music, and uh, and that was a bit different from Nike and Adidas. I think they've both moved that way a bit since Reebok started it, but yes, it's those are the things that make the difference. And of course, we have so many stories, and the longer that the companies go on, Nike have a lot of stories about performance, Adidas do, and so do Reebok. And so, and those stories now, it is a question of stories in with brands, marketing brands. It's really telling stories, and we have lots of them.
Mhm. Okay. And what kind of sacrifices did you make to get to where you are in life? And if you have to do it, would you do it again?
Well, it all depends on whether you call them sacrifices or whether you were having fun. And yes, there was a lot of problems, a lot of agonies that we go through, but basically it was fun. And sports footwear products is fun. It's something you can have fun with. You meet a lot of good people. You meet a lot of interesting people. And would I do it again? Well, yes. I mean, I know. I suppose you've read Phil Knight's book, and he ends up by saying he just wishes he could do it all again, which is fine. I think for me, um, I'd like to just continue rather than do it again. I'd like the story to be different rather than just go through the story again. The story was a remarkable story, but I've done that story, and that's good. And you know, I lost my brother, he died, and I lost my daughter during but these are things that happen during life. Even Phil Knight lost his son. And, those are things that happen. So I'm sure Phil Knight wouldn't like to lose his son again. I mean, those are the sort of things you don't particularly want to do again. But some of the enjoyment, great, it's pleasure. But I'm sure that going forward, there are many more pleasurable things. I'm traveling now. I don't think Phil Knight travels, and I'm just trying to think now who's running Adidas, because I think they've had a few sort of problems with Yeezy. I think with those problems you run into those. But no, do it again. No, People ask me, I did national service. So I did 2 years national service, and they say, would you do it again? And I said, look, I enjoyed it, but no, I wouldn't do it again. You know, I don't know. I prefer moving on.
Okay. And what has been your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
Biggest failure, I think the biggest failure was spending 11 years trying to get into America. And it wasn't a failure. I could turn around and go somewhere else. America was America, so I had to keep on beating the drum. I had to keep going for it. And again, I enjoyed it. Even the failures I enjoyed, because you learn such a lot. And what we learned is that just pushing at the door doesn't get you there. You need something else. We probably needed an influencer, but what we did get was 3 5-star shoes recommendation in Runner's World, and that made all the difference. Once we got that, we had credibility, we had credentials, and people there to, oh, Reebok, 5-star shoe, we must try that. So that got us into America.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder why you are so successful and what is your definition of success?
Success is whatever you're facing, and usually if it's a problem, think of that problem as an opportunity. You know, we started as Mercury Sports Footwear. We had to change our name, and we came up with Reebok. We were challenged by Adidas with our silhouette. We had 2 stripes and a T-bar. We changed it to the Vector. On both occasions, we came up with a better solution than what we had in the first place. So Reebok was better and the Vector was better. So I say to anybody that don't think of challenges as problems, think of them as opportunities. And in that way, you will progress.
And at this stage of your life, what is the most important to you?
What is the most important to me? I think, again, it's having fun. It's meeting people. We travel the world. We're here for 2 weeks again back in the UK, and then we go off back to America. After America, we go off to Dubai, Bangkok, and then Australia. We have 5 weeks of a tour there, and we come back America again. And at some point, we're going to Sri Lanka. And I think our diary is booked until February of next year. So that's what I like in life now. And we meet people. Some of the people that I've been with a long time, and we can talk about the old times, and some new people who have so many new ideas, so many new thoughts of the way that business is today. So I think that is, I would hate to sit here and just say, well, that's it now, I have enough. Even though in 3 weeks' time, I'm going to be 89.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And can you tell us about your daily routine and does it change?
Daily routine, we usually go to a gym, but it's not what you would consider a gym. It's usually a mall. It's a shopping mall, but shopping malls, you don't have to put up with weather. You don't have to put up with what's under your feet. It's usually nice and easy to walk on. And since I have sort of a replacement knee and a replacement hip, I need a good surface to walk on. So I'll do 2 circuits of a big mall, get 5,000 steps in. So that's always, it's always the plan. We don't always get there because somebody else comes up and we have to go. We have a meeting. We do these Zoom meetings. I love these Zoom meetings. They're great. Where are you speaking from, by the way?
From Poland, Warsaw.
You are in Warsaw. Okay. Only been there once, but it was enjoyable. Great.
Okay. And what's the most valuable piece of information that you have ever received from a coach or a mentor?
The most valuable. I think we didn't get much mentoring, but I think that it was always good to meet people. It's build a team, get the team to work with you, because you can't do it on your own. You need people, and but build the right team. And don't, if you've got the wrong people there, don't be worried about suggesting that they move on. You need people that work with you, that become part of your team. So building that team, and it's not always easy because you are tempted to take somebody who has some great ideas, but they might be the wrong people. So they've got to be the right people. So the most important thing is just to build a good team and get the right people. And that way your brand has a good chance of expanding, because you can't do it all yourself.
Mhm. And what is your greatest strength in business and also the greatest weakness?
The greatest strength, I think, is having fun. I think is making sure that all the people with you are having fun. What would my weakness be? Do you remind me what my greatest weakness? Probably having too much fun, maybe. It reminds me that's a weakness, having too much fun and not being serious enough. But I don't know. People would have to tell me.
Okay. And if you could master any skill instantly, what would it be and how would you use it?
I'd love to master the technology today. Of the technology today, at my age, it just doesn't stick. I was a bit too young. I even stepped back from Reebok before we had computers. So to understand computing, the whole thing, because I think people who are going to make it really good today need to have that at their fingertips. They need to know where AI is going, and they need to be able to take it, understand it. So that I would love to be able to master that, but unfortunately, I have to have other people master that.
I wonder, because you achieved so much success in your life, how do you manage work-life balance or work-life harmony when you are successful?
Well, I don't think we manage it. I think it manages us. I think we've got to that point now that with the diary being that full, and we try to squeeze other things in every now and then. So do we manage it? I don't know. I just like to go with the flow, allow it to happen. Whilst we can get up and walk, that's good.
Okay. And if you could have a dinner with any historical figures, who would it be?
Oh, that would be Winston Churchill.
Okay, and why?
Because I just believe he had that attitude of never give in and keep going. And I think that he sort of he took a whole nation with him in that they believed him and he believed it. So, and he was so believable. So, and it was clever.
Mhm. Okay. And at this stage of your life, are you satisfied or you are still uncomfortable, hungry, I mean?
I'm still hungry, I think. I'm hungry to see what is next, see where things are going next. Reebok now have a new distributor, and I'm just hungry to see that they're going to get back into, certainly they're going back into basketball, and they're being more visible. So that's great to watch. It really is great to watch, and almost be part of, because we meet a lot of the new Reebok team, so we meet them. So that's good, yes.
Okay, and when enough is enough, I mean, or maybe never.
Well, I think somebody will switch my clock off when enough is enough, and because we're not going to stop until it becomes difficult, and then if we make it, who knows? You know, we might run into something that's okay. We have to stop, but until then, I'm not ready to switch it off.
Okay, two final questions because I know how valuable your time is. What one piece of advice would you give to anyone starting a business?
Well, apart from the fact that whatever business you're starting, and make sure you know it all from A to Z, you know the whole business, and you've got something to add to that business. And apart from that, have fun. Just make sure you're having fun, because if you're having fun, you have a really good chance of success. If it's too difficult, too hard, move on to something else.
Mhm. And I wonder, how important is legacy for you and how would you like to be remembered?
Well, I mean, but I guess that's what you believe in the future, whether there is any future beyond life. Because once you're dead, then what is the legacy? For me, I'd be gone. But the legacy I'd like to leave is that, okay, he was all right. He was a good guy, and he enjoyed life, and we enjoyed life with him.
Okay. And last question, what do you think from your perspective, from achieving so much success in life, what was your superpower?
I don't know if I had a superpower, but I like meeting people, and I like to share winning. And I think it's good to win, and it's good to have a team that can win with you and have that belief. So, I mean, that for me is it. I think if you share it on your own and you're just one person, I don't see where the enjoyment is. You know, I think you need to share life. You need to share lots of things in life. And so if you can share that pleasure, the pleasure of winning, the pleasure of really the victory, the challenges, that's the best part, to share all those things.
Thank you very much, Joe. It was a great pleasure and a great honor to me. Thank you for this conversation. It was very insightful, valuable. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us, and please have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Piotr, and it's been a pleasure. It really has. So thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.